Hello my friends and fellow patriots. My name is John Doe and this is DAV Budget Prep. This is my first video of a planned series of many. I'm a disabled veteran and a realistic prepper. I don't have buried bunkers and thousands of dollars of food with massive amounts of weapons, burnout bags, homemade electricity, television cameras, guard dogs, castles, and a bunch of other shit I'll never use that cost a fortune and a great amount of time to prepare. I'm a Vietnam-era veteran and a Cold War veteran. I spent 5 years on active duty as an enlisted man in the Navy and 10 years as a warrant officer in the Army Reserve. I spent a great deal of time in various countries and jungles in Southeast Asia. Primarily, my job involved navigation and small boat operation. I was secondarily trained as a diver and intelligence photographer and qualified as a small arms expert and instructor. After serving on active duty in the Navy, then going to college, I became a surgical technologist and joined the Army Reserve as a medical specialist and eventually acquired a graduate degree in naturopathic medicine. Several years after active duty, I discovered that while serving in the jungles of Southeast Asia, I had been infected with a parasite that caused me to have a debilitating disease called filarial lymphedema. This causes severe damage to the lymph system in my right leg and forced me to retire early on disability. I retired in 2010, and with the time I had available, I began to really look at the world and how screwed up it's becoming. I'm not going to go into my politics or anything, at least not on this video, but let it suffice to say that I've only taken 2 oaths in my life. One was my vow to take care of my wife forever, and the second was my vow to defend the Constitution of the United States. I don't recall being released from either of these vows. And to show my seriousness, I've been married 42 years. I've since become a prepper and found concerning my disability, I have limitations in my life, and I had to figure out how exactly to overcome them. So I've taken the skills that I've learned in and out of the military and adapted them to my specific needs as a prepper. Furthermore, this had to be done on a budget since I live solely on my disability payments. As I developed my plan on prepping, I looked at a lot of other people's videos and met other preppers and was overwhelmed with all the stuff they had and how impossible it looked to do. A lot of people are preparing for earthquakes, nuclear attack, tornadoes, civil unrest, many other scenarios. I feel it doesn't matter what the cause of the disaster will be. There will be certain factors that are similar in all cases. And those similar factors are what I prepare for. First, in all cases, we will lose power. Any disaster causing loss of power will make the people panic and it'll empty the stores within 3 days, if you're lucky. No electricity means no gasoline, so there'll be no delivery to the stores to restock. No pumps running to bring fresh water into your home. You can die from thirst in 3 days. If you survive that, then hunger sets in, and as people get hungry, they'll come looking for food and supplies you must protect. This can happen overnight. You may think that's unlikely, but just look at what happened in New Orleans during Katrina. Within 2 days, complete unrest occurred in the city. Looting was everywhere. People were killing each other, and in the midst of it all, the chief of police went around door to door with the National Guard, attempting to confiscate guns from the legal gun owners and homeowners to prevent them from shooting the looters. Meanwhile, thousands of homeless people were herded into the Superdome. That inside was complete chaos. New Orleans went from a typical American city with a great history, a bustling business center, and a tourist mecca to a third world country in 2 days, complete with bodies lying in the street. This can happen anywhere for any reason. Cut out the power, run out of food and water, and you will have total unrest. However, I have enough faith in things to believe that, like New Orleans and in the largest majority of disasters, power and order will be restored within a relatively short period of time. 1 to 3 months at the most would be a reasonable term to consider. There are possibilities that loss of power and control will be forever, but you can take so long preparing for the worst case scenario that you're not prepared for even the short-term disaster. My philosophy is building from a short-term disaster on a budget with a continuation toward a larger-term disaster. First, let's get everything you need to live for 3 days, and whatever you need to increase that amount to 1 week. and whatever you need to make your collection last you a month. Then you have a good base. And you can build toward 3 months, and on forever if you like. This gives you shorter goals that is useful immediately for the short-term disasters. I will show you the minimum you need to survive the initial 3 days to 3 months, and how to protect your home and supplies. If after you have accumulated all that, then acquire more if need be, but set up the first 3 months completely before moving on. This site is for the real person who doesn't have a lot of money to prepare and feels overwhelmed on how to even start with so little money available. If age or disability has prevented you from starting a prepping plan, and you're not in a position to leave your home, you must create an Alamo on a budget out of your home. Watch my videos or even ask me to evaluate products you find that may be helpful, and I'll try to attain and demonstrate them for you. Be sure to follow my videos by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.